Hello everyone, here we are with another video, and in this video we are going to talk about Boogie, but not just Boogie, because if I only talk about Boogie, this is going to be a very short video. And so I am also going to talk about my failed experiments. These failed experiments are familiars that I thought could be very good, and they could have been a one whole video segment for me, but turns out they're not as strong as I thought they would be. But anyway, so first we're going to talk about Molten Lion, because something happened that is very unusual, or maybe it is unusual in the past, at least for my experience, but recently, and this happened twice in a row, which I am going to show a video of. And by the way, someone in the comment section actually mentioned about this. I just forgot who it was. So if you remember who you are and you are watching this, please let me know who you are so I could, give the proper credits. I am talking about Molten Lion not being able to use his skill when his HP does not drop to 10%. Let's watch. So as you can see, Molten Lion here is still at full HP. Might will die easily here. And then so look at Molten Lion. He hasn't used his skill yet. And then he will just die. And so this is another video. This is me going against Hamzkick, whatever. But yeah, so I can now actually say that it is not a glitch, and this is actually happening. It is weird because before, Bird was able to one-hit a lot of other familiars, right? So like, look at this one. Surya will use his skill and then basically kill Molten Lion before it drops to 10%. Alright, so that actually happened. So that is an experience that I've never seen until 2 days ago, and so whoever that guy is who told me that, and now I see that it's actually true, credits to you, my friend. You're actually right. Alright, now for the failed experiments, we'll start with Fire Lynx, which is a huge waste because I did a plus 300 on him just to do this experiment. But I mean, I could still enhance Absorb, but I don't know. But yeah, so as you can see, good toy. The 5-star specific toy, 5-star attack gloves, and I just don't have any others. Now, for the longest time, and I am on record on this, you can see my past videos, I mentioned that Fire Lynx sucks, right? But, I wanted to be unique. I wanted to, maybe my pride, or maybe just a bragging right where I made a Fire Lynx work. And so I tried it out. And my thinking behind it is, if I can have like a Staghorn pull a Toko, and then basically Fire Lynx with that very strong nuke could maybe one hit a Toko, right? So that was my original thinking, because for the longest time when it comes to the nuke team, I was using Dinoceras, but Dinoceras does not have the elemental advantage against Toko, unlike Fire Lynx. Alright, so this is the first video. I have Fire Lynx over here, and this also is an experiment of me not using a Toko, so just a grain of salt there. That's why I am not winning a lot. But anyway, so I have a lot of videos about Fire Lynx, but I don't think it's necessary anymore. With just 2 videos, I can show you that Fire Lynx doesn't go so well with any team, I guess. But yeah, so or just hard to pull off. So yeah, you will see Fire Lynx here. Something to keep note here. All right, so he got so he hasn't used his skill yet, but he got dropped by might, so meaning it was just delayed, right? So not canceled. He will eventually use his skill. There you go. So he used the skill, right? So the first one where he stomped, right, that has a huge radius actually. So Fire Lynx, if the opponent's familiar has this icon, meaning they got CC'd in a way, or like whatever you call that one, they will have their HP healing reduced. So if they get healed, that healing will be reduced by a certain amount, maybe like 20%, I think, for my Fire Lynx, which is A1. Now, in theory, he is a good counter against a Toko. So Toko casts his healing very early, right? I'm sure all of you know this already. And then Fire Lynx casts his skill a little bit late. And so Fire Lynx, within 5 seconds, everybody will have reduced healing. But if the opponent doesn't heal, then it's kind of useless, right? So that's the first part. And so, but the stomp really hits a lot of familiars in the radius. Now, what happens next is he will breathe fire, and that one does not have a lot of like radius, or it doesn't hit a lot. So in this regard, like, see that only Toko gets hit. Let me replay that one to the very beginning, right? So he will stomp, and then look at that. Nobody is getting hit by the breath of fire, right? Only Toko is getting hit. But even that, it's not doing enough damage to compensate to how squishy he is and him not having any, what do you call this, CC. So there's a lot of things going against Fire Lynx. He does not have any CC. His skill is a counter to healing, but the most OP healer, Toko, just based on the cooldown at the start, isn't really getting countered at all, right? So that's going against him. And the last part, which I'm going to show you in the next video, just keep an eye on Fire Lynx here. Basically full health, and then did you see that? So what happened there? Suryu will use his skill, right? So yeah, Suryu has now used his skill. Animation ongoing. Fire Lynx almost at full HP, and then yeah, oh yeah, dead basically. So very, very squishy. Granted, his Suryu is actually strong, the Boreka. I think it is a 10, but still, that is, since a lot of Suryu is being used in the familiar arena, and not only Suryu, but also a Hippocampus. And so with a fire familiar that is very squishy, and again, let me remind you, my Fire Lynx has good toys and plus 300. And still being that squishy, I think we just give up on him at this point. And so yeah, that is a failed experiment, but now you know why. Next is Penguicorn. Now the idea behind Penguicorn, why I thought initially he is really good, is because he blinds enemies, like 3 enemies, that is good, for 4 seconds. And I thought when an opponent gets blinded during animation, they can get cancelled, right? Because one of the experiments, I was able to, cancel a Toko, right? But apparently, it was only cancelled by a Goblin, which we will talk about later as well, just to show you that one. But basically, that's initially what I thought, and so I thought, oh, okay, if I can potentially cancel 3 familiars with a Penguicorn, because he does cast his skill kind of early, and so that would have been really, really good. But turns out it doesn't, but still he is kind of useful. He's not totally useless, but not as strong as I thought. Yeah. All right, so here it is. We have Penguicorn. I will play it. Yeah, so the furthest away is Hippocampus, Shrimp Paler, and Toko. So that's the 3 who will be affected by Penguicorn's skill, because he attacks, or like the skill will affect the 3 furthest away from him. Okay, so there you go. As you can see, Hippocampus got blinded mid use of skill. Toko also kind of, but I guess he was able to cast first, and so yeah, there's healing over here already. But Hippocampus got blinded, but still he was able to use his skill. So that just confirms that Penguicorn doesn't really cancel skills. But you will see here, Might will be hit by, so because I'm using Might, right? Hippocampus will use his skill. So in theory, this will do huge damage to Might, the Hippocampus. But since he is blinded, there is a good chance that he will miss. And so if I play this, see what will happen. So see that there's a few miss icons there, whatever. So yeah, Might was also got a few dodge, I guess. So yeah, so there's a few misses there, and so Might was able to survive. And so that's why I said Penguicorn is not totally useless. He is good. He could be used, but it's just really hard to put a team around a Penguicorn, or like match a team with Penguicorn. If anything, he could be used with a Tarracona. That's what I would say. Because when a familiar is blinded, they actually don't move, right? So as you can see, so let's go back to that. As you can see, Shrimp Baler and Toko will not attack at all, right? So during animation, they will still do they will still do something, like it doesn't cancel the animation. But after that, the 4 seconds of blindness, they will actually not move, right? So that is kind of good, right? But if you can match him with someone, like example, because I don't have a Tarracona, but in theory, if you have a Tarracona, Penguicorn would be a good pairing for a Tarracona, so that you can support Tarracona, let him have more hits, not let him die, and so yeah. So if you have a Tarracona and it is really really strong, Penguicorn could be a good match. But other than that, you don't have to force yourself to using Penguicorn. Next, Hobgoblin. Now I didn't really experiment on Hobgoblin, but I did say that is like his usefulness kind of died down because a lot of familiars got strong. But recently, just because of the experiment on Penguicorn, I know that Hobgoblin was actually the one who canceled Toko. Now, for context here, Hobgoblin attacks the one with the highest attack, basically like the skill. So stuns them for 4 seconds, and he uses the skill very very fast. So one way to use Hobgoblin is to cancel your opponent's healing, right, in the very beginning. So if you can cancel Toko's healing in the beginning, because like I'll show you in my team, Toko still has the second most attack here. So I only have an A9 Toko, right? So but his attack is 2,195, stronger than my Suryu, which has plus 100 attack jellies. So his attack is only at 2,178, and this is at A8, right? The only one that has higher attack than my Toko is my Hippocampus, which is at A6. Okay, so and this is very hard to, get. Most of the time, in the arena, Toko will be the one who has the strongest attack, and so almost automatically, Toko is the one who is going to get canceled. Thus, you are able to cancel the healing of your opponent's Toko in the early parts of the game, and that could be a huge advantage. And so that's why I think Hobgoblin could be viable. Just to show you as a proof, I made experiments. So yeah, so Fire Lynx and Toko. Toko is about to heal, and then Hobgoblin will smack him, and thus won't be able to heal. So did you see any healing fields there? No, because he got canceled by Hobgoblin. So there you can see some usefulness to Hobgoblin, if only like very niche. Alright, now we'll talk about Boogie. Let's check out his skill. Instantly decreases HP by 10% of max HP. Right, and then when that happens, he will basically increase the attack of ally familiars in range by 10% and crit damage by 15%. So now, in order to know him better, I went ahead and used him in the familiar adventure. Right, so and this is together with Hobgoblin and Ebon-Thorax. The reason why is because they are two familiars that has the fastest use of skill. So just to test how fast Boogie uses his skill. Because in theory, you want Boogie to use his skill, buff familiars, before they use their skill, right? So that the skill itself of your other familiars will get boosted as well, right? So, and that has a 5 seconds window. Let's see what happens. All right, so first thing to note, Boogie is actually a range type, so yeah, keep noting that. Anyway, so here we go. So Goblin used his skill, but he is not yet buffed by Boogie. So that means Hobgoblin really does use his skill faster than anybody else. However, with Ebon-Thorax, we all know that Ebon-Thorax uses his skill faster than a lot of familiars as well, not named Hobgoblin. He was, just to replay that, so he got boosted by what do you call this, by Boogie before Ebon Torex charged, and so Ebon also got the benefit of uh, getting buffed before using the skill. So and then there's a 5 seconds window for everybody else. So that means Boogie could be very useful in that regard. Like, it is perfect. The timing of his skill is kind of perfect. Right, so there you go. And another thing to note, the skill of Boogie says like familiars in range, but the Hog Goblin is so far away from Boogie, they're from end to end. That means everybody could be boosted by Boogie. You can like literally disregard the part where it says ally familiars in range, because like look at how far this is. Hog Goblin from Boogie still got boosted by Boogie, so yeah, just disregard that one. Everybody will get boosted by Boogie, and so yeah, there's a 10% reduction in HP there. So yeah, everything checks out. All right, now I want to see like, because as you know, Boogie is kind of like Toko and Sorbor. When the next episode comes out, you have the chance to have Boogie at a 10, right? So I want to see, and this is how you can check it out, going Awakening and then Awaken 10. See like what is the max stat that Boogie will give you when you have him at A10, right? So so the decrease in HP will only be at 5% now. So I mean 10% is not much. I would have loved it if they increased this, further, and disregard the reduction of HP. But yeah, so yeah, in the end you will only get plus 20% attack and plus 30% crit damage. I would have loved it if this is damage, like increased damage instead of just attack, so that even a bird could benefit with this skill. But I mean, again, the window, like bird might not be able to get in the window of the boost anyway. But yeah, so it would have been better if this is a increased attack, increased damage. All that being said, and now that we know that, I can definitely say that Boogie would be a good match to a team that is basically a nuke type team, right? So if you want to boost something, you want to boost the ones that has really good damage dealing skills, right? You don't want to boost just normal attacks, right? Someone like a Toko. I mean, of course, everybody uses Toko, but the team around Toko ideally would be like a Hippocampus, an Arachnis, right? Tarracona, in theory, doesn't really benefit much from Boogie because he does hit a lot, but it is damage over time, right? Sorbor definitely would not benefit from Boogie because Sorbor does not have a nuke. If anything, it would be, again, as I've said, Arachnis. Like a Arachnis Staghorn Hippocampus combo would benefit a lot from a Boogie. So Toko, super OP, the one that we get from the first episode. For the second episode, Sorbor is really good. Now for the third one, which is Boogie, I'm afraid it could be like, it would fail in comparison to Sorbor and Toko. But it has some use. It's just very, very niche. I mean, I would have loved it if it's crit rate. But that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoy that, and I will see you on the next one.